let's continue this roll. We'll talk a little bit about the WNBA this week. This week has been fairly interesting depending on who you're fans of. As we know, the Lynx, we don't really need to talk about them anymore. They're clinched. They are in, as we kind of guessed, Connecticut, Chicago, and one other team who I'm about to tell you here in just 1 second have all been knocked out already because 9 wins just is not enough. Oh, Dallas, of course. Yes,
Dallas.
Yeah, just not enough to continue on the season. So
mathematically eliminated.
So they're playing basically upsets to be the upsetters from here on out. But we'll start kind of we'll work away from the down up. Washington has not had a very good time the past couple weeks. They are 1-4 this week after losing earlier today. Their slide puts them down to 10th now in the playoff run. If we remember, they were sitting kind of pretty cool there in the middle, but have since,
I think, as high as 4 at one point.
As high as 4, I do believe, but have since done a big old slide all the way down. It's been a little bit sad to see. Washington has their starters are good, I will say, serviceable for the most part. Sonia Citron, who we've talked about a little bit earlier this year on the podcast, is still playing, still being that sniper that she needs to be. The issue for Washington is they really have absolutely no bench help, it seems like, this year, like none at all. And they're kind of getting whooped in bench points, and that's where they're losing most of their games thus far.
And we've seen what a lack of bench can do.
Not ideal. Working our way up, though. LA is trying to figure, I don't know how they got the schedule they did. They're trying to play as few games as possible, apparently, towards the end of the season here. This week, they went 1-1 on the week. This week, they once again beat Dallas, and that
was a very noteworthy game.
Was 81-80 was the final score of that one.
Who was it?
Beckers, I think, had 44 in that game.
44 busted a bunch of rookie records.
A ton, but unfortunately was not good enough to get past Kelsey Plum and the
Which
Sparks.
is wild, because that scoreline, that was Beckers putting up over half of her team's points.
Yeah, she can hoop. That is one thing I will say. I'm expecting Dallas to quickly transition their roster like Indiana did last year, hopefully, because that team could be very, very good. They've had some bright spots. Unfortunately, getting rid of Dijonay earlier a few weeks ago too did not help any. But I think they kind of saw the writing on the wall.
Sure. But I mean, talk about getting acclimated to the league when you're putting up a 44 spot in your rookie year.
She can hoop. That is for sure. That's without a doubt. The Sparks' only loss this week, unfortunately, was to the Mystics, who was their only win on the week.
Oops.
So a little bit of a monkey paw there, but I think LA might make it. I don't know why. I just have this gut feeling.
I saw a little article about that's the whole reason Kelsey Plum went out there was to try and prove she can be a franchise player.
Yeah, she wants to be a cornerstone. She pretty much was the cornerstone for Vegas until they were in San Antonio at the time,
right? And then moved to Vegas.
Got Asia Wilson. So Asia's a tough person to.
Yeah, what do you do with it when another goat walks in?
Potentially the greatest basketball player in women's basketball history, but she's still writing history. Speaking of Asia and her aces, undefeated again this week. Perfect 4-0.
10 in a row.
10 in a row.
Unstoppable.
10 in a row. 106-87 against the Wings. 74-72 against the Dream, who are a real team. 83-61 against the Mercury, who were in that top division, and 91-81 against the Mystics.
Sitting in third place now.
Third. Asia
after beginning the All-Star, coming out of the All-Star break out of a playoff spot, if I remember correctly.
She was not kidding when she said we were going to win some games.
Absolutely a lady of her word, and my oh my, what a run they have gone on.
I can't remember the last time I've seen something like it's literally they have not lost. They've lost very few games in the second half.
This is Shades of Rocktober is the closest I have to this.
It's insane. I sitting here with my Aces shirt upstairs as a fan here, to say that we'd be in third place now is an insane statement because we've been as low as 11 at some time. But now
a sub 500 team early on.
Nope, but not anymore. We are back in the spot that I think the Aces deserve to be in for the most part. You have, we've talked about, probably potentially the greatest WNBA player in WNBA history up to this point on the team. There's no reason you can you should be sitting that low down, and you should really have the opportunity to win another championship, which I think of what they're pushing for. The Liberty are the only team I think that we're waiting to see what happens. Stewie's still quite not back yet. Same thing with
and they
Nafisa.
have now slipped to the 5 spot, the Liberty, who had once seemed so locked into that 2 spot.
Yeah, nothing is safe because Atlanta has been playing really, really well. Liberty have not seen so many wins anymore because
they've gone. It looks like they're treading water, about 500 over their last 10.
Yeah, they've been about 500 the last 10 for sure. Every week I come on here, they split again. They're just surviving because they had the one week they won pretty much most of their games, and then the week after that it was like this week was not very fun because they had to go through the buzzsaw of all the top 3 teams basically.
Yeah. They have. I mean, they desperately, I think, want Stewie back more than they would like.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's always that scary thing because we know Vegas is on pretty much a rocket ship on the way up at like the most perfect time ever right now.
Yeah,
the Lynx are in right now. They're kind of just chilling. We know what Nafisa is capable of at any time. The Liberty are kind of on the edge there, just kind of teetering, rocking back and forth, trying to figure out what's going on. And it's not always ideal to get your star back sort of at the end of the season when you need to be playing your best.
Yeah,
ball.
When they need some calibration games and it's kind of do or die, that is less than ideal. But it does. I mean, at this rate, Liberty are not going to be playing with any home court advantage if they do stay in the playoffs.
No, and we have to remember the WNBA playoffs are much shorter than the NBA. We're talking about games of best of 3, best of 5, and those are not. Some of those series are very short.
Yeah, you do not get the grace of an off night in those short series.
No, not at all.
So yeah, very interesting shakeups. Who else do we need to run down on? Anyone else in particular here?
I don't think so. Everyone else, for the most part, has sort of stayed the same. I mean, Phoenix has kind of been up and down. The only reason they're sitting at 4 right now is because Vegas is almost unstoppable at this point, it feels like. But everyone else is kind of where they've been. Indiana is kind of, they're going to be another team that kind of strolls into the playoffs. There's no one really safe quite yet if you are 6 down. Sparks just need 1 week where they play more than 2 games, ideally, and a couple more wins to the name, and they just have a spot. Like I said, I still think it'd be a miracle if Golden State do get into the playoffs in their inaugural season. Not impossible. Right now,
they're still right there in it, but yeah, they don't seem to have found that next gear up to climb.
And I think Seattle has reached the point now again where they're kind of on the booster up because they had another game. They set a league record or a WNBA record where they had like 65 bench points the last game they played, which was like a dominating win. Yeah, 95-60 against Dallas, and 65 of those are off the bench.
That is wild. And that is the sort of like roster construction that you get kind of like, if you're a coach around the league, like, damn, we have to watch out for that whole lineup now. Yeah,
it's insane. Like they're another team that's pretty capable of anything. They were sitting a little bit higher, but have kind of had the rocky up and down, losing some that they probably shouldn't have. But that was it around the round ball league.